Hello everyone, Travis here, and welcome to this brand new Planet Coaster series here on SimFox. This is a collaboration that I am doing with the one and only Charjallz. I have collaborated with him before, and we are currently working on the Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 Euro Park together, along with Hank and Edzerin, but we haven't done a one-on-one collaboration in a while. For those of you who have been following the channel for a while, it actually goes all the way back to Quick Draw Quarry, which at this point was forever ago. I know collaborations can be a little hard to follow as content is coming through on multiple channels, but I've created a playlist so that as the episodes become available, they can all be in one place for you all. If you notice in the thumbnail, this is actually the second episode of this series. The first one was done by Charjallz a few weeks ago, and a link to his channel as well as the playlist containing both of these videos are in the description below. One thing about today's episode that you'll notice is while I get a lot done today, I don't really get anything finished. And that's because, as I've mentioned in the past, Planet Coaster is a lot more detail-oriented and a lot more tedious, and therefore it takes me way longer to get stuff done. In addition to that, when I first opened this park, I was kind of not sure where I wanted to go with it. Charjallz and I had talked about having just one coaster and then some flat rides around it, but then in today's episode I actually decide to add a rapids ride as well, because being that this is kind of a mountain cabin sort of theme, some sort of raging river rapids or log ride seems really appropriate. And so basically what we're kind of trying to do with this series is make more or less a single section of a park instead of a full-scale park. Again, going back to the fact that it just takes so long to get stuff done in this game. The good thing is, if this part of the project works out, we could easily expand this park into another themed area or expand upon this area even more. So we'll just kind of take this episode by episode and see what we come up with. The footage for this was filmed probably 10 days ago or so I'm kind of a little bit behind on commentary and posting and that kind of stuff. As I mentioned in my last Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 video, school has started back up for me, and given that it's my last semester until I officially move into the teaching program to get certified, it's a bit intense for me at the moment, but I'm definitely going to try to make it a priority to post on a regular basis, even if it's not quite as frequently as you all are used to. But I don't see me taking any longer than 10, 11, 12 days in between videos, but ultimately I'd like to post every single week. With all the excess of rain that we've gotten over here in Texas this year, there's a lot more vegetation than we're used to. And being that I'm in a desert region, that's kind of been really hard on my sinuses and things like that. So I'm not sure if my voice sounds a little bit different to you all, but I've kind of been fighting with allergies / maybe even cold and flu kind of symptoms the last couple of days. But it's no surprise, that tends to happen when school starts back up. You'll see that in the last episode, Charjallz started this wooden roller coaster. This is going to be kind of the main attraction in this area. He did the station and kind of the entrance-exit setup for it, and a little bit of terraforming to get this area started. We plan on this being kind of mountainous, given the name Big Bear Mountain, and so you'll see that in his third episode and beyond, we work on making this wooden roller coaster a terrain coaster. And later on in this episode, you'll see that I put the rapids ride through what's going to be the future mountain range. And as you can see right now, one of my main focuses for this episode was kind of getting an area put together where it kind of looks like this is the entrance to this themed section of the park. I plan on having some buildings and shops and stalls and things in here. And as I mentioned before, we're kind of going with that mountain cabin sort of feel. I wouldn't quite say alpine because it's kind of more modern log sort of cabin inspired, but we'll see kind of how this all comes together. We decided on this theme because it's not one that him and I have touched on in Planet Coaster as of yet, which is a good thing for you all that follow this game on my channel and his, or both, because you'll kind of get to see a different side of what Planet Coaster is capable of. But at the same time, where there's going to be kind of a lot of trial and error and maybe figuring stuff out as we go along, because one thing about Planet Coaster that we really have to be conscious of is the fact that any sort of mistake or something that doesn't quite look right is going to be a little bit more obvious than in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, just because of the fact that this game looks so much more realistic. But I'm definitely excited for this series, and I hope that you guys are looking forward to it as well. I know not very many of you are really big followers of the Planet Coaster content, and that's okay because I personally don't like to watch Planet Coaster videos that much either. But thank you so much for those of you who take the time to support our content and give us feedback and interact with us as much as you all do. It really is appreciated. But I think that more or less wraps things up for commentary for today. As usual, give this video a thumbs up if you like what you see. Leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions or feedback for me, or even for Charjallz. He tends to monitor the comment section pretty well also. And be sure to subscribe to both of our channels if you haven't already. And with that said, you all have a great morning, afternoon, evening, night, etc., wherever you are in the world, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.